Hi class, we're writing equations. More specifically, we're writing equations of linear relationships based on tables, graphs, and then 2 points. Throughout all of this, you can take some notes. Please feel free to pause, rewatch any section you might have questions on, and when appropriate, please answer the questions that are being asked. So our first situation here is we're going to write an equation of a line that goes from a graph. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, look at my line, is the slope positive or negative? In this case, it is negative. You want to then pick some points that you can read, and I see 0, 5 there, and I also see that 6, 3, if I am looking at that correctly. Right there. So we want to use those 2 points to calculate our slope, and I'm going to count. I'm going to drop 2, and I'm going to run 6. So what would that make my slope if I go down 2 and over 6? Go ahead and write your slope. I went down 2 and over 6. Our next part of that we're looking for is our y-intercept. And again, our y-intercept, x is always 0, so my y-intercept here is going to be 5. Don't forget to write your equations in y equals mx plus b form, where m is your rate of change and b is going to be the y value of the y-intercept. Okay? So go ahead and try to write an equation based on that information, and we'll move on to a table. Writing equations from tables are great when you don't have graph paper. It's a little harder to see our y-intercept, and for those of you that are visual, you might like to see that box or that step, the rise over the run, but we can still see the same thing here. If we look at our line, our change in our y, okay, our change in y is going to be, again, based on whichever points you want, okay. I see a change here. I went down 3, right? Not sure why that's not writing for me. Our change in y is going to be down 3, okay? Yes, I'm having some technical difficulty with my cursor, excuse me. So our change in y is, let's get rid of that. Our change in y here is we're going down again. We're going down 3, and our run is going up 2. So down 3 over 2. Here I went down 1.5 and up 1. So my slope is still going to be that change in the y over the change in the x. And it doesn't matter which points I pick here as long as I am doing the math correctly. And it's always good to double check a couple of them. Now, we're not given our y-intercept, are we? So we have to think about where that's going to be. And if you think about our x is 0, so it's going to be between these 2 points of -1 and 1. So using that our slope is -1.5. Oop, might have given something away there. We can go down 1.5 from our previous y value and figure out that y-intercept, and I'll leave you to that. Our third situation is when we're given 2 points. And when you're given 2 points, I find the easiest thing to do is to create a table. Again, you've just found the y-intercept, right? And you found the slope from a table. So a table of values is really not anything new. It's just using what you've got and then going from there. So if this were me, and I would make a table of values, and I would then try to figure out my slope. So my slope again is going down. All 3 of these have had a negative slope. We're going down. In this case, I'm going down 6, right? So I'm going down 6, and my run is, what is my run? My run is up 6. So I went down 6, up 6. So rise over run, -6 over 6 gives me a slope of, go ahead and fill that in the y equals mx plus b form. Remember, slope is going to be your m value. Now here is the hard part, is trying to find that y-intercept. And what I want to encourage you to do is remember that our y-intercept is when x is 0. Let's see if I can work with this table here. It's not going to let me. Our y-intercept is when x is 0. And so our slope here, I'll give you a little hint, if 8 were our point, that would be 11, right? So we're going to work backwards from that point to try to figure out the y value there. See if you can work backwards. You might have to extend your table a little bit, but I think you can get there, okay? And then go ahead and choose the correct equation. So just to kind of quickly review, when you're trying to write an equation, the first thing you want to do is ask yourself, is my slope positive or negative? And then try to compute that slope. That's the first thing you want to do. Then, based on it, whether you have a table or a graph or just some information, you want to find that y-intercept so you can place that in the b spot there. So y equals mx plus b, m is our slope, b is our y-intercept, and don't forget x is always our independent value and y is our dependent value. Those are always going to be our two variables that we have in our equations. Good luck with this and hope you like this video.